When I received Father Rob's ministry portfolio, after reviewing those materials, the first thing I did was go online and search for examples of homilies that he's delivered in the past year. St. Mary's made it pretty clear in the survey we conducted this year their expectations for homilists, expectations which the committee then shared with prospective candidates through our transition ministry portfolio. The sermon that I landed on randomly was the first Sunday of Advent from 2020. The text was Isaiah 64, and the homily that Father Rob delivered was a discussion of the apocalypse and the Advent season as a time of preparation for the second coming. Pretty grim stuff, really. But toward the end, he pivoted and focused in on Isaiah 64:8. We are the clay, you are the potter, we are the works of your hands. Now, for those who are not aware of this, Father Rob has been practicing pottery since he was a teenager. And so he was able to draw on his experiences in designing and building ceramics to deliver what I felt was a beautiful metaphor for God's regard for his creation. A real message of hope. In Father Rob's metaphor, God, who thoroughly understands the burdens of our everyday existences, has the skill to build us in a manner with sufficient strength to handle the stresses and strains to which we are subjected. Now, that message really resonated with me. I've got the stresses and strains of normal life, and then you've got coronavirus. Then we have the search committee with the expectations of the parish for a new rector, and then my father passed away in the midst of all of this. And as a family, we were not able to mourn because of the restrictions of coronavirus. So along comes this homily and this message of hope, and it really, really struck a chord with me. And it's something that I've continued to think on since I first heard it back in May. The rector search process is not a typical job hunt. It's a discernment process in which everybody involved, candidate and committee, are listening for the voice of God through the course of our work together and trying to understand God's will for priest and parish. I did not recognize this when I first heard that homily, but over time I came to the understanding that God had directed me specifically to that message from Father Rob because it was a message that I personally needed to hear. And it was at that point that I realized in my discernment that we had found the new rector of St. Mary's.